This is USVI News, your Virgin Islands connection.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for USVI News. I'm Emily Matson. We begin today with a heads up on the holiday weekend forecast. The U.S. Coast Guard is advising caution at beaches in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands due to possible dangerous rip currents in the area during Labor Day weekend. The National Weather Service is predicting an increase in rip current risk with moderate to high risk for most north and east beaches by late Saturday or Sunday. Also, the tropical system Invest 91L is moving to our northeast away from the territory. However, associated with that system, shower and thunderstorm activity will affect the local islands this weekend, according to NOAA. So expect increased moisture associated with the proximity of Invest 91L, which will promote shower and thunderstorm activity throughout the weekend. Meantime, it is not your imagination. The tropics in the Atlantic have been very quiet this year, despite a forecast from NOAA and other experts forecasting an above-average season. For the first time in 25 years, the month of August did not have a named storm. But as the calendar turned to September, things appear to have changed rather quickly in the tropical Atlantic. Thursday, the National Hurricane Center announced Tropical Depression 5 had strengthened into Tropical Storm Danielle. The storm, currently in the North Atlantic, is expected to strengthen into a hurricane by Saturday. Danielle is not a threat to any land at this time and is expected to remain nearly stationary through the weekend. And it's not been just a quiet August. For the first time since 1941, the Atlantic has had no named storm, but the trend may not continue. Experts say this remarkably quiet Atlantic tropical cyclone period is likely to end soon. Hurricane season is about to ramp up, but may not reach the level which was originally forecasted. Local leaders are advising you to make sure that you're prepared for this current peak of hurricane season. Virgin Islands Senator Genevieve Whitaker is taking action to address ongoing violence and issues happening at Virgin Islands public schools. Violence has gotten out of hand, she says, and leaders are coming together to address it. And already they've come up with several possible solutions.
Senator Whitaker held a virtual emergency meeting with education officials and police to talk about fights happening on school campuses, weapons being found, and several other security issues. It all came to a head Thursday when police responded to the Charlotte Amalie High School for reports of a student with a gun. The school was placed on lockdown, and a brawl at the St. Croix Educational Complex that led to the arrests of 3 students. And since the start of the school year, there have been ongoing fights happening at the public schools, particularly at St. Croix Central High. Whitaker says it's become overwhelming for the school monitors and unsafe to tackle. Recent random searches at schools have uncovered guns, knives, and contraband. So here are some of the solutions from Thursday's meeting. Getting equipment like metal detectors, hiring more monitors. They've put a plea to parents to be more proactive in their children's lives. Create a youth court legislation, recruiting students to participate in the Strengthening Families program with the Department of Human Services. Returning batons to monitors to be able to defend themselves along with proper training on how to use them. And the VI Department of Education is seeking funding for security cameras, an increase in security staff and police presence, and other incentives that can help reduce illegal activities in VI public schools. Leaders will continue to meet to address and tackle these ongoing issues.
And on Friday, the Virgin Islands Department of Education announced a series of initiatives to ensure the safety of students and school staff and to shed light on the department's actions in light of the recent spike in altercations on secondary school campuses. Those plans consist of a comprehensive program which provides social and emotional supports to help students better manage their emotions, and the ongoing build-out of safety systems and procedures across all school campuses. To read the plans, you can head to our website, USVICBS.com. A St. Croix woman facing charges after police say she stole someone's credit card and then went shopping online. 23-year-old Solly Lantiga is facing several charges, including credit card theft and embezzlement. Back in May, detectives from the Economic Crime Unit launched an investigation into a reported credit card fraud. They found Lantiga, who was employed as an administrative assistant, got a patient's credit card information over the phone under the pretense of collecting payment for past due bill. However, after getting the patient's credit card information, she used it to make personal purchases online, according to Virgin Islands police. Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett has been chosen as Grand Marshal of New York's 2022 West Indian Caribbean American Labor Day Carnival Parade. This historic parade is set for Monday, September 5th in Brooklyn, New York. New York's Caribbean American Labor Day Carnival is the largest cultural event in the United States and Canada. About 2 million people attend. 1 million are tourists who come from all over the U.S., Canada, of course the Caribbean, and even the world. A record turnout of people excited to celebrate the beauty and significance of Caribbean culture is expected for this year's celebration. To be chosen as Grand Marshal, Plaskett said in a statement, "As a proud Crucian, Caribbean American, and Brooklynite, I am extremely proud to have been chosen as one of the Grand Marshals of this year's parade." She went on to say, "New York has long been a rich epicenter of Caribbean families and our collective cultures with multiple layers of Caribbean heritage that contribute to the arts, music, history, and cultural identity of this part of the United States." Certainly an honor for Congresswoman Plaskett. Well, as we approach a busy weekend of travel, changes are coming to the way some airlines treat their customers. It comes just as pilots across the country walk the picket line at some of the busiest airports, with Labor Day travel now kicking into high gear. Tom Costello reports.
Under pressure to improve customer service and avoid a repeat of this summer's travel nightmares, the nation's airlines are this morning spelling out how they treat passengers when flights are delayed or canceled due to factors under their control, like a mechanical issue or staffing shortage, not weather-related. Alaska, American, United, Southwest, Delta, Hawaiian, and JetBlue all say they provide meals for customers delayed by 3 hours, offer hotel rooms for passengers stranded overnight, including transportation to and from the hotel. Just 2 weeks ago, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg told us exclusively the airlines must improve their customer service, or the government could soon impose tough new requirements.
So now you're kind of laying down the law for the airlines. They can either pony up on their own or you're going to enforce this for them.
That's right. I'm giving them an opportunity right now. We can do more rulemakings and even more enforcement.
The airline's announcement coming on the same day the DOT today rolls out a new dashboard website, one-stop shopping so customers can see each airline's policies spelled out, including rebooking fees, meal vouchers, and hotel stays. Some airlines get all green checks, others get red X's. And today, 38 state attorneys general have written to Congress saying they have received thousands of complaints from outraged airline passengers about airline customer service, including about systematic failures to provide required credits to those who lost travel opportunities during the pandemic. The state AGs want the authority to enforce national and state consumer protection laws. The frustration shared by many passengers.
I mean, quite honestly, the whole time at any airline right now is absolutely ridiculous.
In June alone, complaints against the airlines jumped 270% above pre-pandemic levels. Meanwhile, if you're traveling today, you may see off-duty pilots picketing, not striking. ALPA, the biggest pilots union in contract talks, says pilots are exhausted after working record overtime while airlines struggled this summer.
In the past, yes, every summer there'd be overtime flying because the airlines fly more in the summer. Now it's just been relentless in the recovery.
From consumer news to health news now, the CDC approved a new COVID booster on Thursday. It signed off on updated versions of Pfizer-BioNTech's and Moderna's COVID boosters, allowing vaccinations to begin. The updated boosters target the highly contagious BA.5 subvariant, the strain responsible for nearly 90% of new cases in the U.S. The Biden administration's urging all eligible people in the U.S. to get the new boosters as part of its fall booster campaign. The modified shot will be the only boosters available for teens and adults moving forward. Meantime, U.S. life expectancy is the lowest it's been in decades, according to a new report by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Here's a look at the latest numbers and what officials say is the driving factor of the decline.
After a historic drop in 2020, life expectancy at birth in the U.S. took another significant hit in 2021, falling to about 76 years, the lowest it's been in the U.S. since 1996, and the biggest two-year decline in a century.
It boggles my mind still. We spent $4 trillion on healthcare in the United States, and our life expectancy, even before the pandemic, was going down.
COVID-19 was the driving factor for the lower life expectancy, with deaths from the virus contributing to half of the decline from 2020 to 2021. Deaths from unintentional injuries, about half of which are due to drug overdose, were the second leading cause for the decline. The report says death rates for flu and pneumonia went down in 2021, and if it weren't for these offsetting effects, the decline in U.S. life expectancy would have been even greater.
Other similar countries also had a drop of about a half a year during that first year of COVID, but they've actually gone up over this past year, returning back to it. The United States continues to go down in terms of overall life expectancy, whereas other similar countries have started to rebound.
The CDC says the biggest decline in life expectancy was among American Indian and Alaska Native people at 65.2 years. The life expectancy for American Indians in 2021 was equal to the overall U.S. life expectancy in 1944.